called Arabesque tiles, and I got them from Lowe's. Lowe's is the only place I've been able to find them here. There's 15 and they cost around, yes it is. That's why I changed my mind and I put them on there. I could have done the same experimentation. Hi Hazel, how are you? And actually we might still do some experimentation with texture. I just want to try different things. Number one, I want to try foils, how foils attach to these, so that if you wanted to use them on a backsplash, you wouldn't remove the mesh thing. You would keep it and then foil it. So let's see how foiling works. And I have this leftover piece of foil that I'm going to cut. We're also going to try and see transfers. Yeah, the shape is really good. I don't know what that is. So I'm just going, I put this on a plate. I applied the foil adhesive on here. And I'm going to try it on here and let's see how this works. You can also, if this works, and I don't know yet, I'm trying to find my toothbrush and I cannot find it. So I'll use one of these. Yes, you can absolutely use them. That's the reason I thought about this, Rennie. I thought that these would make great ornaments. They are not expensive at all. When you get 15, it's less than $1 each. And I just want to say, I did add right here some of the foil adhesive because I thought it would look nice. Now, I'm going to try and make sure that my foil adhesive has stuck. And I don't think I applied my foil adhesive that accurately or that well, but this will just give us an idea of what. Now I know that if I have a ceramic jar, yeah, I put the adhesive on at about 1 o'clock, Jane. I can put it, I would have put it on now, but we wouldn't see the result. So now if you go out and you find a ceramic jug, yeah, the gold, it is on my website. Now, if I find a ceramic jug, I can use this on it. So that's good to know. You do remember you have to seal it because it will remain tacky until it's sealed. But it does work. Yeah, it's just an idea. Now, if I had some little Christmas, I know that they sell at Hobby Lobby, the Mary and the Jesus set. They used to come in buttons. That you can use this as a background. You can also use the same WoodUBend that I wasn't supposed to use this morning. Where is it? I had a piece of it. This WoodUBend, the trim, I think it was 801, which I wasn't supposed to use this morning, and I didn't know. Around it. You can even do it around here. It doesn't have to take away from the tile itself, and this would make the tile a little bit more substantial because it would add on about maybe half an inch on either side, and you can make them, I'm sure, a lot more elegantly than I can. You can use the red foil for this. Yes, I do have red foil, Jane. Oh, and Jane, I do have, sure. Jane, the 728. Yes, I know. I know, Jill. Wasn't that terrible? I made such a huge mistake. Well, very honestly, I had 20 minutes from getting out of bed to getting on this to be ready. It hasn't been released, so I can show you this, but 728 is in stock, Jane, if you want to order some of that. Yeah, what a goof up this morning. But now we know that ceramics, yes, they did. They did. They were very kind, and that was really nice of them to say that. Now, let's try another thing. Let's try decoupage. I know the back, I'm leaving this as it is. It was short notice, but sometimes these things happen. And I hope one day someone will do it for me if I need it that, that badly. Artemis is not feeling well. She's quite sick. So I'm trying to find, and I want to use one of these. Maybe we'll use this huge sunflower and see whether I can. Yes, it is absolutely, Jill. It is. Okay, well, Jane, unfortunately, you'll have to wait until they allow us to release it. And I don't usually goof up, but I think that I've been out of touch a little bit with WoodUBend. Oh, well, with everything, not just WoodUBend. I think my son-in-law, or my son-in-law, my grandson's taken part of my brains. So I'm just going to cut this out. And I know this is a dull background. Well, it's white. And I want to see, without painting, without any prep work, besides spraying it with, where is my alcohol spray? And by the way, on the first WoodUBend, Arabesque style, yeah, it's this month. This month, they said. Thank you, Rennie. Hi, Ari. Before I did the, where is the stupid tile? Now I've lost the tile that I just did. Before I put the foil adhesive on, I sprayed it just like that and wiped out no, it's this one that I did. I'm losing my mind here. I did wipe it down to remove any fingerprints. Now, I know they say you're supposed to have a coat of sealer right here, but I think that this is so slick, I'm not going to bother doing it. And please don't ask me where I got these from, because I don't know. So I'm just going to place this right here. And I'm going to rub it, and hopefully I have my little tool that you use If I don't, I'll find something to scrape it with. I know it's a little bit off, but the whole point of this is not to create something new, but to experiment with what we can and cannot do on these kind of tiles. And I'm sure if there's anyone that has not used decoupage, transfers, please let me know. Otherwise, you know that you take the backing off, like I did, and then you add on your design. Good morning, Lori. How are you? So I'm just taking off. And there you have it. It did work. I just want to... And this does need sealing. So, the house behind me. Which house behind me? Let me see what you're seeing. Oh no, that's the one, that's the tin one. That's the tin one, Betty. I prepped it and I was going to do something with it, but I haven't quite decided what. So far, we've done these two. So we know it works on foils and we know that we can decoupage with it. Let's try, oops. I want to try, and hopefully without knocking all of these down, I want to try using the WoodUBend, the WoodUBend plaster on it. I'm good, Lori. How are you? So before we do the decoupage, which is not all that exciting, at least not for most of us, and I'm looking for my decoupage paper to have it ready. Okay. I'm going to try the WoodUBend. I have my decoupage paper, I just lifted it up. And I just want to spray a little bit of spray adhesive and give it a few minutes. I'm doing some acrobatics here. I'm going to, oh, I'm sorry, Hazel, you're having problems with it? I'm so sorry. Now that's all great if you're doing this for a backsplash, or you can use it for decoration. And I have not figured out how I can drill these. I have tried, I've broken drill bits. So until I figure out how I can make a hole in here, the only way I know to add a ribbon is to use E6000 or its equivalent. And we'll discuss the back as soon as well, let me just spray this. And I'm just going to let it dry for a few minutes. And then we will add, I tried, Betty, I tried a diamond as well. I just ended up breaking them. So let me just wave this around until we have, I could have used the netting for texture, but I'm going to use this. And I think, what color would you like to see? I've got these colors in front of me. I've got blue that you saw this morning. I've got gold. I've got black. I've got blue Prussian. So tell me, you've got 4 choices. Okay, I'm going to put this here and try and center it. And if you're new on here and you don't know me, my name is Rima Bechara. I am the owner of Walls and More, and I'm here every day. Sometimes we do projects, sometimes we experiment with new things. We learn. Sometimes the projects come out great, sometimes they're a total fail, but we're here to learn. Okay, the blue, oh, the gold, okay, gold. We've got 2 gold and 2 blues. The next one that comes up will be the determining one. Someone vote. But you didn't say which blue. Hazel and Rennie. Maybe I can do half and half. Okay, Ari said gold, so we're going to do gold. Okay, both. Okay, this is the Prussian blue. And this is how you will get your paste. And I'm going to wipe. Hey, Nicole, how are you? Let me get some of this gold. I have to tell you that my stencil is very worn out. And it does have areas where it's raised. Thank you for sprinkling, my friend Nicole. How are you today? How was work? And I've still got a little bit of white. I don't want it to become mud, so I'm just going to add a little bit more of the white here. And a little goes a long, long way, as you saw this morning. You is tired? Oh, I'm sorry, my friend. And for those of you that don't know, Nicole's having an auction today at 6 o'clock. So I hope you will join her. And I hope you don't mind I mentioned it, Nicole. So if you're able to join her, it would be great. Okay. Oh, hi, Rima. Rima, what's your last name? Gumliaski. Where are you from? You and I have the same name. So I'm just going to close this. And I should put some of the press and seal. And I'm going to remove this in 1 second. So I'm just going to remove this. And this is what we got. And you know what I'm going to do? After I clean it up, I'm going to try and puff it. And I'll do a close-up of this. And hopefully the paint is still wet enough for me to try. And I'm going to puff it. So far, let's see if it puffs up. We've applied the yeah, I like the idea of both. I might have let it dry too much because you're supposed to puff it up as soon as, oh no, some of it is puffing up. Anyway, my experiment was not for puffing up, but I thought we would do it just in case. And some of it is puffing up slightly, some of it is not. I did wait quite a bit. And this is not perfect. This is far from perfect because of my stencil. And it's getting a bit hot. The edges that were a little bit thicker worked. I'm going to stop right here. And this is what we have. Yes, it would. And this can also work as a background for your backsplash or for decorating your Christmas ornament or Easter ornament or whatever ornament. Now, the one thing I will tell you about the Posh metallics, you need to clean the stencils ASAP, because if you don't, you won't get them off. Yes, it does. That's what I was using this morning, Laurie, on my WoodUBend. I'm just cleaning up just a little bit because I'd like to be able to reuse this stencil for mixed media. And it does work, but I made a mess. That's all right. The whole point is just to see what we can do with tiles. So let me put this away and this away. All right. Let's put these over here. I'm going to leave it to cool down because it's a little bit. And this has not closed, and that's a problem. Please make sure that when you close these, you close them right, and you put press and seal around them. Yeah, no, these are very, very quiet, which is really good to have, Laurie. Okay. I'm going to clean the next one. So, and what we're going to do is decoupage. Now I'm going to use my decoupage for ceramics. Penta Art has several decoupage mediums, and I'm just getting out a ceramic one, which is this one. Oh, you're never late, Len. You're never late. And I'm going to use one of these roses This paper is not something I sell. So where should I put it? Right here? Let's put it right here. Let's see. And I shouldn't be touching it. And let me get... Oops! Let me get my ceramic opened. Hey Emma, how are you? And I'm just going to add my ceramic, my decoupage glue and varnish for... Yes, I use alcohol to clean. Now you can use water and vinegar, but I like the fact that alcohol dries very quickly. So that's why I use it. I wipe it off and I dry it. What is this? I've got a marking on this, but no, I'm going to bring it down a bit. I'm just going to cut around if I can find my scissors. And this is not a surprise to me that it works. It does work. I've read a few things. Most everybody seems to, if they're using decoupage medium, they are using if they're doing ceramic tiles, they're using decoupage paper. So now I'm going to trim these. See, I cannot bend this here. So what I'm going to do is I can either shave it off or sand it off, or I can do this. If this will let me, but this is not letting me cut. I'm just going to cut so that I can push it down. Around the corners. So you just make little slits and it will fit around your corners perfectly. Well, around your bends, not just corners. Let me see if there's anywhere else. Yep, here. I'm just checking all the corners. Not the corners, but all the bends. So now I'm just going to add my decoupage medium over and under so that I don't end up with lumps or creases. I'm just pushing down all the edges. Now, as I said, you can also sand these down. Okay, I can see here some of it needs to be pushed down. It's just to give it a neater edge. And I'm not allowing it to dry in order to do that. But I'm going to do this. And push some of these in. Obviously, when you're doing yours, you would take a lot more time than I'm taking on a live, but I wanted to show you as much variety as I could. And just going to cut some of this instead of using my fingers. And I'm going to do this so that it all goes where it's supposed to. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you, I've shown you decoupage paper. And I know I'm not supposed to put plastic, but here you go. There is one more thing I do want to show you, and that is napkins. So let me put this down and let me just get to my napkin without this mess here. And what color napkin should we do? We could do leopard, we could do, we're going to do one of these. Just so that I'm just showing you the different ways that we can do a simple decoration without spending a ton of money, providing you have, as I said, the decoupage glue for this. Here you need the decoupage paper. Here you would just need the foil, the transfer, the metallic paste. Yes, you can. You absolutely can. Yes. So I'm just separating the napkins because you know we need to get to apply the one ply. And I'm trying to decide where I want. Now, I'm not very good at decoupaging with napkins, but I'm going to cut it in 4. You can cut it in less. And again, spray with my alcohol. I have drilled holes in square tiles by starting. I did that, but I ended up... What kind of drill bit were you using, Tina? I don't know what kind of drill bit you use, but, and I'm going to use the same Decoupage medium, and I shouldn't have put my brush in there, but I did. I'm going to still use the ceramic. And ceramics, you have to be very careful with. Well, not ceramics, with napkins, I mean. Mainly because once they're down, yes, you can absolutely add shells. You can add anything you want. And I'm going to use this, the back of this. Diamond, I tried a diamond, but the diamond didn't work. It broke. I've done seashells. I'm just trying to get it to adhere, and I'm going to be very careful so that I don't ruin it. I'm going to file the edges, and again, I'm using, yes, I started with a tiny, and after 3 tinies broke, I gave up. But I kind of figured if I can if I can drill for shells, I should be able to drill with these. And I'm not going to put a top coat on this right now, because I'm going to show you another way. Now you can finish these with ribbons, you can finish them with rhinestones on the edges, or you can do what I'm going to do. Oh, a masonry bit. Hey Donna, how are you, my friend? It's good to see you this morning. Thank you for your support. Okay, so now we have this one. But for time purposes, I am not going to put a top coat. What I am going to do is I just mixed up some Posh pigment to paint these, to put on this, but they're a bit too bright, but we can use them. I mean, they really show up now. So let me just get a thin paintbrush and show you what you can do with your edges. And this is the pigment. It's Infuser from Posh Chalk mixed with pigment. And it works beautifully. Oops. Well, even if it's handmade. You know, now I just remember all of you guys, when I make a mistake, I just say, okay, it's handmade. So I'm just with a small brush, I'm just doing the edges. Yes, exactly, perfectly imperfect. And almost done. And I'm going to do the other ones as well. And then you'll be able to see now. You can get napkins with Merry Christmas, and you can use exactly more creativity. You can decoupage Merry Christmas here. You can, oh, let me just show you. Let it dry for a couple of minutes. Oh, that's a great idea, Betty. You need E6. This is slightly wet, so that might be why it may not, I won't be able to brush it 100%. They would make beautiful coasters. I'm just finishing them up. And you can use any color pigment. You can use the green, the red, the copper, the silver. There's two reds actually. There's a purple one. And then you can sign these. And for the backs, you can add the sticky felt. You can do cork. Because the backs aren't that pretty. There we go. So you can see the edges of this. I will probably do another coat once they dry. This is this one. And you can, there's absolutely no reason why you cannot pour resin on top. And when I say pour, I mean you make some resin, even for this, or this. So we've done 5. Just pour, make a little bit of resin, and with your dropper, just put one, and with your gloved hands, put, smooth the resin out, and within a few hours, you've got it, a coaster. But of course you need to let them cure for a little bit. So let's just go through what we've done. This is the foil. So just remember, don't pass up any ceramic object that you see. You can foil it without even painting it. Then we did the transfer, and the same thing goes for the transfer. Yeah, there's no reason why you can't. After, there's one thing, make sure it's dry first. That's the only thing that you need to do. But these dry quickly. Yeah, plate hangers might work, exactly. No worries, Lori. No, if you put a drop and you smooth it with your gloved hand, there shouldn't be any drips. If you put too much, you'll have drips, but you can put it on this and put a plastic surface underneath, and then you can let it drip if you put too much. I just used a little Tupperware, and you can put it on top, and if it drips, it drips. But usually when I do it, I put so little on that nothing really drips, because you don't want to waste your resin. And then we did this one with decoupage paper. And then we did this one with the napkins. So I hope this has inspired you to use ceramics, to use these kind of tiles for Christmas ornaments. There's so many things. I mean, I could glue, I could paint the edges in the pigments. I could put a mouth and like the eyes of a snowman, a carrot. I bought these, Lynn, at Lowe's. That's the only place I was able to find them. Thank you, Hazel. I think Amazon may sell them, but I got all 15 for maybe $8. It was one tile with this mesh on top that I took apart. Anyway, what I was saying is you could do the snowman face, you could do a Santa's hat right here, and his face if you can draw. I can't draw. You can also add, you can do the edges to make them pretty. Yes, exactly. And you can put an angel right on here. And if you use the same color pigment, it would look like, you know, it was meant to be.